welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we get to the latest news and events taking place on the African scene. We'll start with our major top stories and reports. A meeting was held to discuss the need to adopt the best standards and the state-of-the-art technologies that help establish direct countries. We have more details in the following report.
Sisi ordered the modernization of the national maritime transportation system, including the transport fleet and the ports on the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. In a meeting on Monday, Sisi stressed the need to adopt the best standards and state-of-the-art technologies that help establish direct maritime lines with African countries to boost trade exchange, especially of the raw materials necessary for development projects in Africa. The meeting reportedly discussed the progress in the transport projects that are underway, especially those related to improving seaport service quality and the national maritime transport system. Efforts by the Transportation Ministry in various seaports, especially Alexandria and Dakhila ports, which are being connected to major road networks leading to the International Coastal Road, were discussed, as well as progress made in the development activities at Ain al-Sukhna and Safaga ports, and a plan to enhance the efficiency of Damietta port and the surrounding road networks. The infrastructure work in progress for a high-speed railway project linking the Red Sea town of Ain al-Sukhna with Al Alamein and Marsa Matruh cities on the Mediterranean coast. In January, Cairo signed a memorandum of understanding with Siemens subject lines the first was Governorate Ain Sukhna, the new administrative capital, Cairo, Giza, 6th of October City, Alexandria, and New Alamein City.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Irrigation facing many water challenges, the renaissance, including the increase on water.
Egypt, the Ministry of Irrigation the country. Ethiopia reiterated by black legally binding downstream countries. Sudan. Abdel Ati slammed Ethiopia's unilateral actions regarding the filling and operation of the EU, saying Egypt will not have the grave implications, which should be referred to the UN Water Day held annually on the 22nd of March. Cairo has recently welcomed a Sudanese proposal to form a quartet comprising the UN, the European Union, the US, and African mediated talks on the legally binding agreement is reached before the second filling to secure their water interests and protect their peoples from the implications of filling the mega dam.
Welcome back. The Health Ministry said at 600 hospitals and 5,000 health units.
The Ministry of Health said anti-coronavirus vaccines will be available at more than 600 hospitals and 5,000 health units within the coming period nationwide. Zayed was speaking in a joint press conference with Chinese ambassador to Egypt, Liao Liqiang, on Monday. She continued the targets to vaccinate approximately 250,000 citizens against coronavirus by the end of this week, adding that Egypt and China are negotiating to manufacture COVID-19 vaccines in Egypt. She revealed that the state is in talks with the Chinese company to allow Egypt to conduct the third stage of clinical trials of coronavirus vaccine. As for the vaccination for the Hajj season, Zayed said that the anti-coronavirus vaccines will be provided to citizens who will perform the Hajj this season. She said that the Hajj medical mission will be in coordination with the Ministry of Tourism, Interior and Social Solidarity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and on President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's meeting today, will be joined over the list. Dr. Sharif, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is Évariste Ndayishimiye at Ittihad. The significance of this meeting?
Well, let's not forget that President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi was the first Egyptian president who visited Burundi after the genocide that took place in the 1990s. And this was a significant step towards this important African nation who suffered a lot. We shared with the people of Burundi the agony of this tragedy, and I think that now the African leaders, all of them, when they have seen the Egyptian leadership during the African Union, they saw that President was keen to defend all the African files in the international arena, and against Africa under the presidency of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. So I think this visit is also a sign of solidarity with Cairo and in its politics and diplomacy towards Africa, and especially the conflict about the dam of Ethiopia.
Right. Well, Dr. Sharif, in a joint press conference following the meeting, President Sisi praised bilateral relations, keenness on boosting economic cooperation between the two countries. What do you think is possible, the steps to be taken to boost economic cooperation between Egypt and Burundi?
We have already economic relations with several African countries in development. And I think a country like Burundi is a very fertile country. And we could help this country in the agriculture industry and also in electricity. Let's not forget that Egypt has built water dams in Congo, in Tanzania. We are helping the Niger in agricultural projects. We have built a huge medical sector in Juba, in South Sudan. We are participating in some developing projects in Somalia. And let's not forget that President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, amidst all these crises, offered the help to the Ethiopians and said we are ready to help for the economic development of Ethiopia. So no African country is out of this equation which Egypt is building. So I think that with Burundi, electricity will be very important because it's a country who suffered a lot from wars and genocide. We can help building centrals for electricity. We could help in building hospitals. We could help in building and other agriculture projects there.
Right. Well, President Sisi also said that the talks agreed on transporting Egyptian expertise to Burundi in several vital fields. What's your take on that?
Well, we all know that Egypt has the superiority in many industrial categories in Africa. And this is the main thing that all the African nations are aiming to see now, because we know with the Corona and COVID-19 crisis, the markets are closed in Europe. Exportation is very difficult now, and importation is not. And this is what President Sisi foretold before this crisis of COVID-19, when he stressed on all the African youth, telling them you have to work for your own countries, build your own future, build your own economy. And I think that time proved that President Sisi was right. Here we have a crisis, an international crisis, what these countries are going to do. So
Yes.
he was right when he said we have to work and build our own economies and our own future.
Right. Well, the President also said he has witnessed a number of positive developments during the past period and confirmed Egypt's support to Burundi during its development process. How do you think Egypt can support Burundi in the upcoming development process?
We have experts in many fields. This is the main thing that we are trying to show to our African brothers. When President Sisi hosted the African Youth Conference, he said the people from Africa come to Egypt to learn, to work, and also we have cooperation in economic fields is not only about goods, it's also about human expertise. We have the human resources. We can send engineers, doctors. We have experts in agriculture. We can find several ways to give our expertise, because we have managed to rebuild, and I should rebuild our infrastructure again in the last few years. So Egypt has the expertise. We have an excellent expertise in the military field, in architects there, doctors there. We always help in the medical support.
Yes.
So I think that we have all the possibilities to offer a country like Burundi, to offer them the human resources that we have, to how to transfer the know-how.
Yes, well, Dr. Sharif, the Burundian president also expressed appreciation for Egypt's efforts in preserving stability in the Middle East and Africa and in settling conflicts in disputed areas in the region. What's your take on that?
Of course, we have worked during the African Union leadership in settling many problems in Africa. We know that the main problems in Africa about politics is also tribal problems. Main because South End to make this we have in Sudan, Egypt has an influential role. We have an we have the power of stability, and not forget that the main policy of President in Africa is stability, and prosperity. He has all these points in mind. He never intervenes in other countries' affairs to sabotage the peace. No. So any African leader and president of Burundi, he knows that he's talking today with an honest man, a man who wants peace, who wants the sovereignty of Africa being preserved. So he's seeking his advice. He's seeking his vision, and I'm very Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is the honest man of Africa, is the leader who brings stability and advice, equal partnership, and brotherhood. A continent who needs rebuild and effort by young people.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Sharif Amir, political analyst, for your insight. And dear viewers, that's the end of the Africa Today. Many thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more coming up here on Nile TV International.